You might not have been able to hear me. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I had this turned on. Yeah, I was just saying this is all about shoe shopping. Good morning to you. Happy Sunday, July 26th. I accomplished something grand. I filled up an entire notebook. We're talking about shoe shopping today, past versus present, and the shoes that I cannot live without. The shoe that defines us, the shoe that makes us. We all have our favorite shoe depending on the event that's going to take place, right? A dress shoe, a work shoe, a workout shoe, an outdoor shoe, an indoor shoe. We all have our shoes, don't we? We all have our favorite shoes. So I want to bring you my favorite shoe, and the shoebox. The shoebox makes everything. The colors of the shoebox make everything, and I love these two colors. And I think this is why I love the two colors together, because it reminds me of my shoe. It reminds me of my shoe. And so I'm going to be talking about that last. But first, I want to cover shopping, right? Like it's super important. I remember growing up, and my dad, my mom, or whatever would take me to the mall, my sister and I, and we would go shopping at, like, it wasn't a shoe store like by itself in a shopping center. It was like inside of a mall, right? We always go to one mall because it was a local mall, right? There I go with the rights. I'm gonna do what I can not to say right, because I'm bothered by that. It bothers me, and so I'm trying to get better at the communication process. I'm trying to get better at the note taking, at videos and stuff like that, right? And I hope, there I go again with the right. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do what I can with what I have, where I'm at, to provide you quality content. I'm filming in a different location, a different parking lot. It's getting warm. I can feel myself starting to sweat. So I want to move it along, right? I want to move it along and then end it, so I can start my walk, provide my world-class service. It's a Sunday. It's going to be very busy. It's probably busy right now, super busy, and I'm gonna have to provide that service, that world-class service, like I would always do, because I'm consistent. So yeah, this is me showing up. This is me showing up, giving you my best. Hit a personal milestone today. Never done this before. I finished an entire notebook all by myself, from beginning to end, writing all these notes down. We're 5 minutes in, 0 views, and that's all right. I'm all right with that. Some videos are going to land, some videos are not going to land. But today, we're talking about shoe shopping. I grew up going to a local mall and going into a shoe store, specifically Payless. We weren't able to afford designer shoes. We weren't able to go to, like, the Foot Lockers and this famous footwears, and like, Champions. Like, I would always go in there and I would see it, but I would never be able to buy the shoe, because it was always way too expensive for my parents. And ultimately, because the shoe was low quality, we would have to buy shoes, like, every couple of weeks, because we would wear out our shoes. And I don't understand that. Like, I don't, at a fundamental level. I mean, as an adult now, with access to resources to where I'm able to get a really nice shoe, it's everything. It's everything to us. Shoes are everything to us, aren't they? Don't they define us? Form fits function. I walk a lot. I do 15,000 steps a day minimum. I fast while I'm doing the walking during the day. I don't spend any time in the break room anymore. I walk on my breaks. I don't spend any time sitting on my phone scrolling up and down, wasting time. That's counter to my goals and that sort of thing. I take advantage of my time. I'm trying to get better at time management. I'm trying to get better at not using the rights. I'm trying to write those notes. I'm filled up an entire notebook. Last page was dedicated to shoe shopping. For those of you who don't know, 15,000 steps are like 7.5 miles minimum. So 15,000 steps, it's usually like 10,000 steps are like 5 miles. I do more than that. I do 7.5 miles, 7.5 miles and more, greater than or equal to. I need a nice comfortable shoe. I need adequate, reliable, trustworthy. I need shoes that show up. I need shoes that show up and bring it just like I show up and I bring it. It's a partnership. It's like a handshake between shoe and foot. These shoes are actually they're APMA, which is a medical association that tests shoes. American Podiatric Medical Association seal, or the APMA. These shoes have met that criteria. They have been evaluated by professionals, and it's shoe health, it's foot health, it's health for the foot. I'm going to show you this shoe, but I wanted to kind of cover the basics of the shoe as I grew up and that sort of thing. With the and that was the past. The past, right? When you would, there I go with right. You would go into a mall, you would go into a store, you would go into to the areas that you would frequent, right? Your parents would take you, you would go in, you would see the long aisles of shoes that would, the shoes that would go up from the bottom base of the floor with the carpeting all the way to the top. There would always be some carpeting that needed to be vacuumed, right? But there I go again with right, but they and then you would have these shoes, right? You would pick the shoes. Finally, you would get those shoes that your parents would pick out for you, and then you would open them up, and then it would have that tissue paper, right? You would have that tissue paper, and then you would open that up, and then you would see the shoes in there, and it would always have that that cord, that stretchy cord that it would attach the shoes to, and you would pull it, and you couldn't quite pull it enough. I mean, they have these shoes. The other shoes and stuff, they don't have that. The sporting goods stores are a little different in terms of the shoe, the product, and the package than the other ones. Pretty funny. It would be like a tether, like two shoes would be tethered together. Remember those days? And then you would have that tiny little bench, right? You would have that tiny little bench, and it would sit there, and you're lucky to get it on one aisle, and there'd always be someone that had that. So you would put the shoe on if it fit you. You would take that shoehorn thing out of the shoe. You would slide your foot in. You wouldn't really wear both of them because of that tethered cord there, and you would fall. It was like someone shot one of those tethered devices at you to where it wrapped around and you would fall on the ground. And then they would cut it at the end when you would actually have that shoe, when you would buy the shoe, when your parents would buy that shoe for you. And then you have that tiny little mirror, right? That tiny little mirror that you would check your shoe out, and it'd be a weird angle for your shoe. And you would kind of rock back and forth. It's you're never going to see that angle of the shoe. If anything, have a full-length mirror and then walk it. That's what they should have. They should have the bottom 2/3 or that 1/3 at the bottom open as a mirror, and then you can go from beginning of the aisle to the end of the aisle and back again. Some of the sporting goods stores have that lap, that circle around the store for that reason. One of the places I go to actually encourages you to really test out that shoe. What they should have is like a plyometric block and steps and stuff. Some places have rock structures that you can test out shoes with. I like that. I like that environment. I really like that. I like that attention to detail. I like that, because the shoes and stuff that we have define us. Hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, I do, E1M. You ask me this every day. You ask me this every day, so no need to ask me anymore. How are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. We're talking about past and versus present shoes. We're 13 minutes in. I'm wrapping up on the past. I'm going to be talking about the present. I filled up an entire notebook, YouTube. I finished up my last page. I finished it up. I did it. I went from beginning to end. I've never filled up an entire notebook in my life. Even when I was a college student and I would take notes and stuff, I didn't fill up an entire notebook. It's wild, right? And I want to let you know I'm prepared. This guy writes his notes in the morning pretty much every day. He's got his clicker pen, got his notebook. I have other notebooks available. But when this is filled, I'm gonna start a new one. This is a wide ruled. I have college ruled too. I'm trying to figure out which one I like more. I guess it's about the lines and stuff, the lines that separate the spaces. Do you ever when you're writing in a notebook, it's like I kind of like the notebooks that don't have any lines, and then I can freestyle with it, like the sketch pads you would to draw, but use it as a notebook. I might do that. And I have the spiral bound here, but then they have the spiral bound on top and you can flip it over. Like you're one of those Magnum PI guys or FBI agents, right? And you're gonna take notes from from one of the people that you have to interview to solve a crime, right? And they kind of flip it over and they kind of lick their finger, right? So it catches, it sticks to the paper, and then you would flip it over. I like stuff like that. Do you like stuff like that? I know I do. I can't be the only one. So this is good. And we covered that, right? The long aisles. We covered the rows of shoes, the stretchy cord that would tether you, and then you have to buy it for them to cut the cord, or you would pull it if you got a right angle and you were strong enough, you would pull it, and then it would snap. And then you'd be able to wear both shoes. Otherwise, you had one, and then the other one would just be all loose, and it would be floating around and stuff, like a untethered polygon, like some sort of weird glitch in a game, right? Where it's or the bodies they have in front and from software games, right? And they got the doll physics, right? And it would just kind of move around all over and free form, and then you'd have to start the game over, wait for an update, ask for an update, and then it would update, and then you would play a fresh version, that kind of deal, right? That loose shoe, and it would just be floating around. That's kind of what it reminds me of now. So yeah, and the thing of it is, these shoes, right? They would only last for a couple of weeks. My parents would buy us shoes like twice a month, and then be mystified as to why we would go back the next couple of weeks to get shoes. You got to get good quality footwear. You got to. And these stores now, you go from a mall inside to outside. And then you go to the departments, or not the department stores, but the sporting goods stores, right? And they've got that in a different environment. Shoes are always in the back of the building. You would go in there and then you would see the shoes and they were on demo. The shoes that I have, these are the shoes that match me. This is me in shoe form. It's that partnership between foot and shoe. You need that. You need that, especially when you walk a lot like I do, especially when you deliver world-class services like I do. You need a good shoe. It says a lot about you, from your haircut, from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. You know, and that's kind of how it is. It's a partnership between foot and shoe. I don't understand the shoe. There's like the shoe selection machine. I don't know if it's called a kiosk or what, but I don't understand that, where it's like you're confronted with the machine. It looks like an ATM machine for shoes. And then you go over there and you select your size. It's like a big physical version of like shopping online for shoes. And then I'm like, well, why am I doing that? I'm in a physical store. I want to talk to a physical human being who gives me shoes from the back physically. I want to be able to handle all that in store in real time with a real person. Am I right? Right? Come on. Come on. Right, YouTube? You understand that, right? You understand what I'm saying. The shoe kiosk, that machine, the ATM machine for shoes. That's funny. I didn't even write that on my notes. You guys are bringing out the best to me, YouTube. It's good to see you. I'm not Italian. Happy Sunday to you. This is a really good video. I'm very happy with the video. I filled up an entire notebook. You helped me. You helped me finish what I start here. I started the notebook and I ended the notebook. And I'm ending one of the beautiful topics in the world to me. It means everything to me, especially growing up poor with terrible shoes. So just stick with me and I'm going to get into the shoes that I love and why I love them. The shoes at these sporting goods stores and the places that allow me to kind of run around in the place or actually test them out like I would in real life in the store, I'll actually buy. These people are fantastic at what they do. There's this one specific place I like to go to. When we find our favorite place, we stay. Just like our favorite coffee shops, we stay. Our favorite bars and restaurants and stuff, right? The places that do great deliveries and pickups. We love these places. We got to find all the crappy ones first before we can kind of fine tune and get the one that works for us, specifically for us, right? In our needs. Trying not to use the word right. I really am. I have an 11. I'm 11 shoe size and I'm a wide foot. And it's very difficult to find 11 and wide together. Very difficult to do that. But I was able to find a place. My wife's able to get some discounts because of her work. They deliver them. I would rather go in store, but hey, that's me. I'm kind of old school in that way. And I'm not about ordering the shoe. If I go in and I try to buy a shoe and they're like, well, you know what? We can order this from you or for you. I don't need that. I don't need to have that service. If I want the shoe and you don't have the shoe in stock, that's okay. I'm going to be disappointed the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to come back. I'm going to come back. Or I'm going to try a different shoe. Or I'm going to go to a different place. Hopefully I don't have to. But yeah, I'm going to go for that place. And if I find that shoe in store, I might order from the website that the shoe place is from. I might do that. I don't know. I might do that. That might happen to me. But let me be disappointed the old-fashioned way. You don't need to order the shoe for me. I could do that. You don't need to order the shoe for me. I could take care of that myself. I can have my wife help me with that. She can order a shoe. The latest ones that I have are, and let me tell you, these shoes, and they're for walking, they're for running, they're for out and about, trails. It's not a specific trail shoe, but let me tell you, I absolutely love these shoes. The notebook is filled. Here it is. Boom. Here it is. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, YouTube. I love this design. I love opening up the shoe and it's attached and it opens up like a door of a sports car. It's fantastic. I love the colors, the blue and the white. Oh, it reminds me of the Rocky Mountains when you're going out there and you're on a hike and you've got snow under your feet. It's that loose snow. It's glistening in the sun. You got that blue sky and it's complemented by the white snow. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of nature. It reminds me of the outdoors. And I love that. I love that non man. You know, it's nature. It's not man-made. It's fantastic. These shoes are everything to me. They really are. They walk 15,000 steps and more a day, minimum. I do my fasted walks. I don't spend any more time in the break room, like I was saying. These shoes are fantastic. They really are, and they're recognized by the Podiatric Society, like the association, right? There I go with the right. But I've been better. I think I've said less than 5 of them today. But these shoes are fantastic. I love them. And I love opening them up. It's like a sports car. You get that tissue in there, right? And you kind of, right? You get that tissue, right? You get that tissue. All right, I go again with the rights. You open it up and then you're greeted by the shoe, right? There you go again. Stop saying right, loud Italian. Does it bother you like it bothers me? Does the saying of these things, the word right, kind of bother you? It bothers me. But these shoes are fantastic. I've had them for less than a week. They're the Bondi 9 from Hoka. I love this shoe. I've had this shoe for a while, and then I kind of tried other shoes. You know how we kind of try other shoes, and then we kind of do full circle, and you're like, nope, these are the shoes that work for me. These are consistent with my personality. They're with my lifestyle, with my environment. Am I right? Am I right, YouTube? We have those shoes that define us, that make us who we are. We're one with that shoe. And some people might not have that deep understanding or the analyses for the shoe and really think about that. But it's so important, especially if you haven't had it and then you do have it. You don't necessarily know or really appreciate it or being grateful for it if you don't have it. Or if you do have it, excuse me, because you've always had it. So that makes sense. I love that shoe box. I love the tissue. I love opening it up. I love discovering what's inside. It's like a treasure chest, and I'm getting a treasure inside. It's a legendary item. It goes well. It's fantastic. It lasts a long time too, like 6 months. The shoe lasts 6 months. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm gonna swap them into them pretty soon. We're 25 minutes in. I'm Loud Italian. Reach me 9:30 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pretty much every day. I filled up an entire notebook. I'm fired up about the shoes. I covered the past, buying shoes in the past. I've covered buying shoes present, and then maybe in the future. I don't even know if there's going to be a physical store, but I love going in. I love testing out the shoe. And I don't necessarily walk out with the shoes. I have them in my box and then I'm going to wear them later. Right now, these shoes that I have, I actually change into them. I transition from my other shoes into these shoes when I get to the parking lot of my work. And then I transition out of those shoes and I put the shoes that I had on before on and I wear those. We have those things. So it preserves the integrity and the health and wellness of the shoe. So there you go. There you go. Hoka, I love it. The Bondi 9, they are $175. They are kind of expensive. They are. But let me tell you something. You got to take care of your feet. Your feet are your bread and butter. They're your award winners. They carry up your entire body. If someone's upset, it's probably because they have a bad shoe or they didn't get the shoe that they wanted. And they don't even know it because it holds up your entire world, your entire body. Your day is built around that shoe. It's super important. It's plush. It's been recognized by credible sources as one of the best shoes for you. Yes, there is. It is, but you get what you pay for, just like anything else, and that quality. And you can really appreciate it too when you grew up with shoes that were just terrible, and then the tongue or like the bottom part of the shoe would kind of rise up, and it would be like an like a mouth, and it would kind of flap around. You know how the shoes like wore out to the point where it was like your feet would be through it, and it was like a sandal almost. I mean, you got to take care of your feet. It's important. So the Bondi 9, fantastic. I wear an 11 wide. Um, I I I I absolutely love it. I cannot get enough of it. It's a shoe. It's a product that I cannot live without. Just like the title said, shoe shopping, past versus present, and the shoe I cannot live without. And so now you know, ladies and gentlemen, I have given it to you. We're almost 28 minutes in. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I did. I had fun. I'm Loud Italian. Reach me most days. Let me read out chat. Karen, thank you. E1M, thank you. S2W, thank you. And then Phil, 8288, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell. And if you're dinner time and you like the old school stuff, right? Like Little House on the Prairie, ring that dinner bell. Remember those days when you're out and playing, and the only way you would know to come back, is that your mom or your dad would ring the dinner bell and you would come home. That that's kind of funny. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Loud Italian. This isn't goodbye. It's see you later, because goodbye is something you say to someone you don't want to see again. So to you, which I will never say goodbye, I'll say see you later. Have a beautiful Sunday. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and ring that bell. Hope to see you again. And peace. You get a double piece today because you're worth it. It's Sunday. Here we go. Have a beautiful day.